When you get married, you believe in forever. At least that's what I thought. I believed in vows and loyalty, in being enough for each other. But after years of being together, my wife, Emily, dropped a bomb that shattered my idea of what marriage meant. It was a quiet Friday night. We were eating takeout in the living room, the TV humming softly in the background. Out of nowhere, she put down her fork and looked at me with that serious talk face. "I've been thinking," she started, her voice calm but steady. "I want to try polyamory." I froze mid-bite. "Polyamory?" I repeated, half laughing because I thought she was joking. But Emily wasn't laughing. Her eyes were dead serious. "Yes, I think it's time. I love you, but I also feel like there's more out there. I want the freedom to explore while still keeping us." I stared at her, stunned. The woman who used to get jealous when I so much as looked at my phone too long was now suggesting we share our love with other people. "Why?" I asked quietly. She shrugged. "Because life is short. And I don't want to feel like I've missed out." Her words cut deeper than I expected. Missed out? Wasn't I enough? Wasn't our life together enough? For a moment, I sat there, processing. The anger was there, bubbling just under the surface. The hurt was real. But then something surprising happened. I smiled, not because I was okay with it, but because I realized I wasn't as powerless as she thought. So I leaned back, looked her straight in the eyes, and said, "Perfect." Stephanie next door already agreed. The fork slipped out of her hand, clattering against the plate. "What?" she whispered, her eyes wide. "You heard me," I said calmly. "Stephanie, our neighbor, you wanted polyamory? Great. She and I have already talked. She's interested." The color drained from Emily's face. For once, she was speechless. This was the same woman who always had a comeback, who always needed the last word. But now, she looked like she'd been hit by a train. You can't be serious," she stammered. "Oh, I'm very serious," I replied, keeping my voice steady. "You wanted this. You wanted to open the door. Don't act surprised that someone was already waiting on the other side." Emily shook her head, her hands trembling. "This isn't what I meant. I thought maybe together, that we could explore with someone else as a couple." I let out a bitter laugh. "So it's fine if you get what you want. But the moment I take control, suddenly it's wrong." She looked away, her jaw clenched, her pride wounded. And in that moment, I realized the truth. She hadn't suggested polyamory for us. She suggested it for her. She thought I'd hesitate, resist, maybe even beg her not to go through with it. She thought she'd have the power, but I had turned the tables. The next few days were chaos. Emily tried to backtrack, tried to explain that she didn't mean it that way. She said she was just curious, that she wanted to explore the idea, but the damage was done. I had called her bluff. And the thought of me and Stephanie, her friend, her neighbor, the woman she waved to every morning, was eating her alive. And here's the truth. Stephanie had been there. She'd seen the cracks in our marriage, the way Emily dismissed me, the way I had become invisible in my own home. Stephanie had been kind, supportive, and yes, interested. Not in a sneaky way, but in the way someone looks at you when they see something your partner has long forgotten. Emily didn't like that realization one bit. She wanted control, but control had slipped from her fingers. The irony was bitter. Emily was the one who wanted to explore, to taste freedom outside our marriage. But the second she realized she wasn't the only one with options, her fantasy fell apart. She hadn't expected me to say yes. She certainly hadn't expected me to already have someone in mind. The silence between us grew heavier with each passing day. Dinners became wordless, nights became restless. Emily looked at me differently now, not with confidence, but with fear. Fear that the world she thought she controlled was slipping away. And then came the night she broke down. We were sitting in the living room again, the same spot where she had first said the word polyamory. Only this time there were no smiles, no calm confidence. Her hands were shaking, her eyes wet with tears. "Ben," she whispered, "I don't want to lose you." I looked at her, my heart heavy. "Then why did you risk it? Why wasn't I enough?" She broke into sobs, the strong, stubborn woman I knew crumbling in front of me. But it was too late. Some words can't be unsaid. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed. I didn't run to Stephanie that night. I didn't need to. The point wasn't about revenge or proving something. It was about balance, about showing Emily that I wasn't powerless, that she couldn't just toss our marriage aside like a toy she was bored with. But I won't lie. Knowing Stephanie was there, knowing she cared, gave me strength. It reminded me that I was still worth something, even if Emily had forgotten. Our marriage didn't end immediately. We tried for a while to patch things up, but the truth is, once Emily suggested polyamory, the trust was broken, and once I revealed Stephanie, the wound was too deep to heal. Eventually, Emily left. She said she needed to find herself. Maybe she did. As for me, I found peace in knowing I hadn't been the weak one. I hadn't been the fool left behind. When my wife tried to rewrite the rules, I made sure I had a voice in the story. And in the end, my words that night still echo in my mind. You wanted polyamory? Perfect. Stephanie next door already agreed. It wasn't just a reply. It was the truth. And it changed everything.